evening, everyone, or I would say even good night, or maybe good morning. It's definitely unexpected video. It's almost 12 a.m., but it's a good time for us to connect because I have an opportunity to make a video. Welcome, everyone. It's feels so good to be back. Um, it really feels good to be back. I will do my very best to go back to our schedule and doing lives more often, but let's get to the topic. Let's get to the topic of this video. And I hope that you will find it helpful. I hope that you will share your experiences and maybe post them in the comments below after you watch the video, or in the live chat if you watch it now, which I don't really expect a lot of people that late. So today's topic, my dear friends, is communication, your initiative and communication to connect with women that you really want better. I feel that we have another pandemic going on right now, and that pandemic is people forgetting how to connect with others. I can observe that people are very much focused on everything else but on the person they're talking with. And let's talk about this. Let's talk about how we can make it better, how we can, how you actually, if you are one of the guys that are following the channel, one of the men on my, from my men subscribers and all the men who will be watching this video, you know, what you can personally do to connect better, to show your masculinity and show your character just by leveling up your communication skills. I truly feel that that should be a subject you learn in school, but we're gonna learn this on this live show. Hopefully you're doing some research and you're doing some homework, and you know you're doing your own observations. But let's talk about this right now. Let's see. Just I'll see if my chat is working. If anybody is here, please let me know that you can hear me. I know it's late, so I will be hoping that you can hear me. So I believe that number one pandemic right now is that people are lacking initiative and lacking focus on just one subject. A lot of times people are involved in lots of internet distractions, lots of interrupted communications, and they could not make a moment to give quality attention, even if it's just for 2, 5, 3 minutes, but give quality attention to another person. And we are talking about men, masculine men connecting with women that they want. We're not talking about men that do not know what they want, that not interested, not ready, who are in their feelings. We're talking about men that truly looking for somebody, but things seem to never go anywhere, and they start well and then they end, or sometimes they end before they start. And we're gonna talk about this little thing over here, and how much damage it brings if you do not use it right, and how you should use this thing just the way you were using this thing behind me, my vintage retro phone. This thing was meant to be that thing. You know, somebody said that when the phone had wires, people were free, and there is a lot of truth to that. Meanwhile, I want to say hi to my late night chatters, Thank you for the compliment. Hello, Jeanette, and everybody else who will watch. So let's get started. First of all, you cannot create connection with a woman when you cannot find time. If you connecting with her, maybe you met her over social media, maybe you met her through in a real physical life. It doesn't really matter, but you can't do something productive. You can't really create trust with her if you do not show your initiative and you are confident when you, oh god, sorry guys, here you go, gotta have it on silent at all times. So you just as I'm sharing this, you can't truly make a connection if you do not show initiative. You want to be able to express your interest, especially in the beginning, by showing initiative. And showing initiative doesn't mean wasting a whole lot of her time, keeping her texting you and messaging you and send you different messages and even voicemails. We're going to talk about this. um, Showing initiative is that when you make a phone call and you can follow good manners, you can send a short message asking if that a good time to call, or sometimes you can just make a call. If the lady you're interested is busy, you can leave a voicemail, but she will know, you will immediately stand out compared to the other men that may be interested in her, but they can never find time and just give you the focus of their attention and make a phone call. Why the phone call is so important? Because when you make a phone call or FaceTime call, let's say 2021, maybe FaceTime call, you showing that you're nowhere else, your thoughts are nowhere else, but 100% focused on her. When you just do texting or even voicemail, you can be doing million of other things, and she's not your priority right now. She's not the focus of your attention. Now, I do understand about the differences of schedule and time zones and all of that, but this is something subconscious. There is something subconscious, and also there is that instinct of the man pursuing. When you do not really show that initiative, she doesn't see you as the man who can provide, as the man who can protect, as the man who can build connection. It's not that she's sitting there and thinking, he didn't call me today, I believe this guy can provide, can protect, can build a connection. No, that's not how it works. But this is something on subconscious level. This is something that could be very subconscious, and I'm just giving you some tips how to stand out. I do not recommend calling at in early morning or at dinner time. I think it's very rude. I think there are some, especially when you know somebody for the early, it's a early stage of getting to know somebody. There are business hours. If you're kind of man that you are interested in the woman, and you're trying to pursue her, and you dare to call her after business hours, especially late evening, late night, um, if she has any self-respect, you are basically done. Your behavior cannot be excused. If you think that you can call somebody you barely know at late time, and you will say, but Veronica, I used your advice, you said a phone call over text, and I called her, but yes, it was 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. or later. yes, you have to consider the circumstance. You cannot really, you have to always see the full picture, right? Um, good evening, everybody. Привет, Tanyusha. Hello, Tanya. New life in the USA. My new moderator and my friend. Привет. Welcome. Share your thoughts about communication. What do you think, Tanya? What do you think about men endlessly texting you over the men that show initiative, make a phone call, and set up a date? Or if you just only met, they take time to set up maybe FaceTime date because you may be in a different region, in another place, or also you want to get to know them a little bit before you go out with them. That is totally acceptable, especially in 2021, and not only because of everything that's going on in the world, but because women, we feel a little bit safer if we met you online or through social media or some website. I think most women would feel a little bit safer to have to kind of get the feel of a person and to get to know, especially when now you have video calls. I understand you maybe can't always do that, but the thing about the old-fashioned phone call and video call is that you are given 100% of your attention. It does not have to be a very long call, and we're going to talk about this. Today, we're talking more about the early stages because the dynamics can change a lot later on when you already know somebody well, when you have met and spent time together. Then the dynamic can change and you just adjust, you would adjust to each other. But a lot of times, men, I believe that especially men who are masculine and men who are leaders inside of them, but they still feel that, with all this feminist agenda going on, they feel that they cannot show their initiative. They feel that they should be, asking, making sure, being super polite. And I want to tell you one thing for real. Nothing more repelling for a woman than the man who cannot take a decision, who doubts himself, who is super polite. I mean, by super polite, I'm sure you understand what it is. That you don't feel he's super polite, that he feels genderless. And I know that is the somewhat the mainstream of, oh, we don't have gender. Oh, but yet we're celebrating women. So I mean, it's just really, I don't want to make it political, but I understand how that could be confusing. So this video, I called it in general, for masculine men, some tips on initiative and communication for masculine men, how to connect with the feminine women, the women that do not want to chase you, they do not want to go after you, but these are the women that you want. And you don't want to how shall I say this, you don't want to cross the line, you don't want to be inappropriate, you don't want to cross the boundaries, but yet you want to be recognized as a man, not as a girlfriend, not not as a, this weak appearance. I don't know what it is, but one thing that American men can learn from men from Eastern Europe or Middle East or other places, I think, is initiative and strengths. Just being bold, coming up with ideas, and starting and stopping this whole apologizing for your existence. you definitely need to consider certain circumstances, where you are, who you're talking to, how well you know the person. But when you are overly polite, when you are just, it's almost as if you becoming genderless. So there is no pursuit, there is no excitement, you're trying to be politically correct. And that's why it's not going anywhere. Because um, you do not show your authentic self, you're trying to suppress your desires. You can, but the worst of all is when you cannot take a decision and you ask her. And I will give you an example. If you're talking about communication over the phone, to set up a date, to set up a plan, and you asking her. And I know in the Western world, you try to ask the woman to make you feel comfortable, but just so you know, you appear very, I would almost say, insecure, or very undecisive. Is it undecisive or indecisive? Well, remember, it's 12 a.m., so you appear that you cannot take a decision. Even though it sounds like you ask, oh, what would you like, what would you prefer, where would you like to go, what would you like to do. But in reality, what happens is she sees you as the man who cannot take a decision. You put her on the spot. In the early stages of dating, indecisive. Thank you, Jeanette, I appreciate it. So in the early stages of dating, she doesn't know your taste, she doesn't know your uh budget, she doesn't know other things. She gives you the leadership. So if you make a phone call, and this phone call is about setting a date, be as short and precise as you can, and very um just offer. Do not ask her what she wants. I know it sounds very strange, but do not ask her what she wants. Make an offer. If she hates your idea, she will tell you. Somehow, I feel that men want to give these options, but maybe there is a fear of rejection. But if she has allergy for sushi, she will tell you. Or if there is anything else that she absolutely cannot do, you don't have to worry about it, because she will tell you. Feminine women appreciate the leadership, and they want to see your ideas, they want to see who you are. They're not trying to change you to be what they want you to be. Hi everyone, I'm trying to see your live chats. Hello Jerry. Let me see. Okay, I got some answers. I need phone call. Tanya is saying I need phone calls every day. If man interested in me, he will find the chance to call me. I agree with that. I think exactly phone call in particular shows, that's another attention. I said it, but I'm gonna say this again. The phone call shows undivided attention. Phone call does show that you're not just texting 10 other people and have 10 other windows open, and you just text here, text there. Phone call means that you invest in um, your time, your emotions, and your effort. Your time, your emotions, and your effort in a person. Now, every day, or every other day, or every Sunday, or it really depends on the length of your relationship, of the time zone, and on your circumstance. But there should be some consistency. And also, there are two types of phone calls, and video calls and phone calls. There are two types of phone calls. One phone call can be just brief, just to hear someone's voice and maybe wish a good day or set up a date or something like that. But sometimes when you are in a long distance or for some reason you cannot meet, you have to also realize that women express themselves through talking. We probably have there are different research, but we have 9,000 more words than you do. So that is a way of connection and self-expression, especially if you maybe in a long distance relationship or you live far away. So that's just a different kind of phone call. You kind of need to know when you call what your goal is. Is your goal just to say, "Hi, I remember I'm thinking about you. I want to wish you a good day." In this case, you could use the voicemail, the audio messages, because it gives a personal touch. And if you know she's busy, she's doing something, she will hear your voice. It's a lot more personable than a text. It's a lot more personable than a text. But when you know it's been a while since you actually talk face to face, heart to heart, eyes to eyes, whether you are in actual physical relationship, you are territorially, well, territory wise, you are close, or you are maybe in long distance, it doesn't really matter. You want to make sure that at least, I would say, like at least once a week or so, you actually have a real conversation. Of course, everybody is different. um there are people that enjoy talking about their experiences. Some people want to talk about their past, which I um would reconsider. But a lot of people just want to have those, share what they're going through, just whatever wave you are together on, you have to have those conversations. And even if you are living together, you still need that. And do you notice how people who live together for a long time, at some point they stop talking. At first, when you date, when you're just newly married or you're newly in a relationship, usually you have those romantic evenings, you have time, maybe you have uh, date nights, whether it's at home or somewhere else. But after a while, tell me that you have not noticed it. Couples that been together for a while, maybe not doing too well. One thing for sure, they have they ran out of topics and conversations, but usually one of them closed up because the other one would not put the phone down. And I do not mean literally the phone, but at some point you decide that you know everything about the person. You decide, oh, I know everything about her now. So what did you say, honey? Oh yeah. Yeah, go ahead. So you feel that, oh, she repeats herself, she's not interested anymore, whatever, and then you have the pile, you focusing on your phone, on your video games. God forbid. I hope I have a grown man here. Um, and you lose that. I just want to tell you guys, more than anything, we appreciate your authenticity. You don't have to try to be polite and to be nice if this is not who you are. And whether you just building connection with us or you are in a long-term relationship, do not try to be the vanilla, the person that everybody likes, the person that afraid to have a conflict, the person that's trying to fit in, the man, because you becoming colorless, you becoming you try to not to steer, to rock the boat. I would say if you're not happy, you can't control somebody. Oh, I can't tell who's that because she will react this way. You cannot control somebody else's reaction. So I would say rock the boat, rock the boat, make things, bring some truth, bring some unexpected conversations. Once again, whether it sounds similar, whether you get to know somebody instead of trying to investigate them. Where do you work? Um, Tell me about your relationships. Tell me about where did you come from. Instead of asking this absolutely annoying reporter, I would say, interview like questions, we can talk about things that uh, make our life more amazing. You can talk about passions and hobbies and dreams, for example. But so as with a person, with a woman that you know for quite some time, and you want to create that meaningful connection, and things sometimes, you have some dips. It's not always you can be. It's not easy to always have this spike. To always go up. Tea time. People stop talking because they cannot say the truth anymore because they're afraid to rock the boat. And talking about the weather gets old and boring. Talking about the weather gets old and boring, and a lot of people afraid to tell the truth. They're afraid because, if you work in a corporate world, or you have a boss, or you belong to a certain group of people, um, certain norms of behavior and conversations are accepted, and you don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to stir things up. But I want to challenge that and say how interesting that is if you're always afraid of say something wrong. How authentic, how exciting are these conversations when you cannot ever be sarcastic, when you can't ever express yourself, when you cannot ever give your partner the feedback and tell them the truth, something that bothers you, just I think that sugarcoating is a first killer of a relationship because you lose that connection. You just lose it. It's not going anywhere because there is this white elephant in the room and everybody is afraid to address it. So to keep the connection, let's say you were lucky in the beginning and things went well, but to keep the connection, um you have to sometimes get off the autopilot and just have the courage to express yourself and have the initiative to find a good time to talk about it. Obviously you don't want to go into some deep conversations when she's running around and grabbing her purse and she has a meeting and she has to go somewhere. That's not the time. But if you have initiative, if you can give your focus, if you choose things that require effort, you will always be the one and you will always be the first one that she will feel she can connect to, whether it is good, bad, or just a regular average day. So let me read some comments, guys. Give me some feedback if you're not sleeping anyway. So tell me what are you thinking. We're not gonna go for too long, I hope, tonight. But each time I say we're not gonna go for too long, we're going for 2 hours. Okay, let me see some messages. Welcome. Let's see. Yeah, Jim is saying hi Jim, good to see you, my friend. My late wife and I couldn't wait for when I could retire so we could have the entire day together. Yes, I understand. I know that feeling. That is the most amazing. That means that that was 100% your person. It doesn't matter where you are, you just enjoying the communication together. Yeah, it's quite amazing. Hello. Hello, I cannot read your nickname. And by the way, my name is Veronica. I prefer the full version. Let's see, let me read your comment. That's another thing. That's another thing I'm gonna call out. I'm gonna call out some of you guys who always shorten everybody's name. If the person did not give you permission to shorten their name, never do that. If I'm not talking about myself, I don't even know you personally, I am good. But when you try to shorten somebody's name, there are two things happening. The first one, you sometimes show that you don't want to put the effort to say, it's only in the United States people can call somebody with just one letter. Um, you know, some people sometimes call me V, and I absolutely hate it with passion because that just tells me that this person or cannot handle to say the name. So what else can you expect? Number one. Number two, sometimes when you shorten the name, it could be a form of endearment, but you need to learn that endearment. You need to learn. We all have nicknames with people that we love, and sometimes our special people can shorten our names or make them, smaller, playful, cute. But that, the form of endearment, that is something you learn with time. So it's very inappropriate to call somebody with forms of endearment before that is time to do so. So, but let me go back to the chat. Guys, it's been probably a week since I made a live show, but it feels to me like a month. I had, I may, I most likely will share with you um, what has been happening in the last week, but I just didn't want to, I didn't feel like I would like to share it this late at night. But that could be another topic and could be something that you can relate to as well. So, I try to make topic out of just about anything. If I would go buy bread, probably would make topic out of that as well. um okay, let's see. I'm going back to the conversation. I did not take it personally, but I just noticed that, so I just want to address it. I appreciate your comment is good otherwise. I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of a of an insight, but let me read that. First time greeting you from Texas. I like your advice since 2017. Wow, nice. So I can't believe. Okay, now don't tell me that 2017 was 4 years ago. Okay, this is pretty insane. But thank you. Um, Let me read your question. In what you're saying, men and women should have some sort of balance. If so, I agree. There should be attention given, but just not too much nor too little. Um, it's easier said than done. Well, when you pursue a woman that you are interested in, when you're truly interested in her, I don't think there is a lot of balance in terms of getting her attention or even more so, showing your leadership. If you want to show your leadership that you know what you want, you have a plan, you are not wishy-washy. Maybe we could do it this way, maybe it could be Wednesday, maybe it could be Friday, should I come to you, or you, like, it's more of the stronger appearance, and it's more about making a decision and being decisive. So I would say, I don't know if I can call it a balance, but there is definitely a dynamic. And in this, I believe that in this current modern circumstance, somehow a lot of men are leaning into the feminine energy. A lot of men want to be chased. A lot of men want to be seen as a prize. A lot of men, want to be on this feminine weak side, because for a man it is weakness to be feminine, to be overly emotional, to be indecisive. The only balance, I would say, would be that your masculine pursuing and knowing what you're doing and having a plan will be balanced out from her side in following you, relaxing, being playful, and just enjoying the environment that you create, that she doesn't have to sit there and take a million decisions because she has you and you doing that for her. So the only balance, if we would have the scale, it would be your masculine and your feminine, like that. Because when you start to be feminine, when you want her to call you, her to make plans, actually the balance goes in a different way, and eventually you will lose interest because she will feel more masculine and she will start to pursue you, and you will have to go to the feminine role. So it's just going to be a mess. Women like initiative, women like decisiveness and boldness. Why do you think the guys who are the least qualified often get the best woman? Because they know they have nothing to lose, they were rejected many times, and they're not afraid to get hurt. They got hurt before, they heard they ugly before, they they heard of this before. They've been rejected so many times that they give their best, and they fire their best shot, and then whatever happens. Most of good men and nice guys, they are too indecisive and too feminine, but polite, I don't know, brainwashed, but that appears as weak. Anything that we are doing as being passive, as letting you to take the lead, when you doing this, it tells us that either you do not have interest in us or you are weak. I'm just saying how it is. By the way, I still don't know the difference between weak and weak. Like weak as a days in a week, and weak, the opposite of strength. But I believe you understand what I mean. I have a strong faith in that. I'm gonna read some of you guys. Yeah, for me, weak and weak. I know how to spell it. I can spell it with my eyes closed, but now that's what happens when English is not your first language. But let's focus on the positive. Yeah, sometimes you have to go a lot of no's before you get yes. Exactly. But the thing is, the more no's you get, after a while, the more confident you become. Because you have your bruises, you understand that nobody owes you to like you. And I think that is one understanding that is missing. Nobody owes you to like you, Nobody owes you that. We feel that everybody should be nice and polite, but nobody owes you to like you. So that is okay. That is totally fine. It's kind of arrogant to expect that everybody should say yes, or everybody, it is real arrogant. Nobody owes you anything, and you gotta get your bruises, especially as a man. You gotta get the bruises. You gotta get rejected. You gotta get hurt. But it's just like in anything, like in your career and if you have a business, you know that you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna make mistakes, but then when you build yourself up, nobody can take away your confidence. And despite of all these feminist movements, women like men who know what they're doing, or who at least appear, I who at least appear as if they know what they're doing. um the more I communicate with men, the more I was so surprised to learn that a lot of men are scared and extremely, freaking out inside of them when they showing their initiative and talk to particular ladies and doing certain things. Um, I always thought that that was easy. I didn't know that men fear rejection. I didn't know that men sometimes struggle to communicate their real feelings. I didn't know. I thought that was easy. I didn't know none of that. It was such a surprise when, after a while, somebody would tell me, when I was in college, for example, that, oh, it took lots of guts, it took lots of courage to come and talk to you. I was like, why? I thought that I was, the friendliest, the most bubbly person. But sometimes when you have certain um, tea time, sometimes when you have certain appearance, men presume that you could be arrogant, or you can reject them, or it's almost, guys in the chat, please tell me, isn't like rejection almost make you, it's almost like life and death threat? Because that's what I've learned when I would have communications with men and they would open up how they really felt. That was such a surprise. And I've often heard this phrase that, oh, you're so friendly. I've never expected that. Um, I was really afraid to approach you. You're so friendly. I'm so surprised. Things like that. And that's why, I would observe, some of my most beautiful girlfriends when I was in college. A lot of times they would really stand out because of their extraordinary appearance, but a lot of times they would be the ones that didn't have a date. And I could not understand, how is it normal girls have variety, and these girls that everybody looks up to, everybody just like taking their breath away, they take men's breath away, but they have hard time, getting a date or connecting, or men do not always approach them easily. And then I've learned that sometimes they feel that they are unapproachable, and many, I would say 8 out of 10, that is false. They're very approachable. It's just they're also scared. So everybody is scared, and so everybody put a mask of arrogance. Have you guys noticed how um people who are arrogant or seem to be cold and unapproachable, a lot of times they struggle with their self-esteem, and they're trying to show their superiority, but inside of them they are extremely scared. They are scared that somebody will find out their vulnerabilities, their imperfections. So they are scared. So they put a mask, fake it until you make it. They put a scary mask of, a tiger, but inside there is a rabbit. There is just the person that's just afraid, of what can come out of this communication. So um when both sides put arrogance, it's not working very well. So I would say that in this world, in 21st century, in the world of technology, you can stand out easily when you show up authentically, when you're not trying to jump through all of the hoops, because other people who are just as authentic as you, they would appreciate it. You know, I've made so many friends by boldly stating opinions or thoughts, and you can lose. Well, I also lost friends, let's be real here. I also lost a lot of friends by making bold statements. But where those people are true friends? If they cannot handle your authenticity, these people are your true friends. If you cannot cut the BS and just boldly express yourself. And so in this world, in the world of distraction, in the world when we cannot focus, when we have our attention span is about 9 seconds, when you can grab somebody's attention not by trying desperately to be somebody else, but expressing your thoughts, your honest point of view, your outlook, when you can do that, you are at a risk to truly connect with somebody. It's very true. And you know, I always say this, and I'm gonna say this again. When you are socializing, let's say you came by yourself, you came to meet people, and if you are heterosexual man, you came to socialize, and you possibly open to meet women. You know, you possibly open to make connections. Do not come with your phone. If you are there and you know what you want, if you are healthy, if you are available, if it's some kind of mixer or social event, do not hide before your phone. If you want to be able to read the vibration, the energy of the conversation, if you want to observe what's going on, do not try to gain confidence by looking at your phone and appearing busy, because this is more of a I don't recommend for women to do this, but this is more of a female thing. Okay, I'm really shy, so I'm gonna pretend I'm very busy. Yeah, you know, women can get away with it, but you can miss out on a great amount of incredible connections and opportunities if you're on your phone. Plus, you cannot make a true eye contact when you're on your phone. You cannot see, because you may have ladies giving you signals, they're not gonna stare at you, but they can give you a signal like something like that. You know, they can send you a little flirt, or they can just hold couple seconds their they're looking at you, giving you an eye contact. But if she gives you an eye contact and you're like, because you're scared, because you forgot how to communicate, this may not be as effective, right? And plus, again, you will act feminine because you hiding. Hiding is our feminine thing. We hiding from you. We let you chase us. We like hiding because that's our game. But if you're hiding, then the only woman you would attract is the woman that's gonna be coming after you. You know, the woman that be running after you, kind of like deer running after the hunter. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for the Friday super chat. And let me read the message just a second. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, Arrogance tend to reflect an overcompensation for one's inadequacies. Well, yeah, I mean, arrogance definitely it definitely takes place. Also, arrogance is very often is lack of communication skills, lack of having natural confidence. Because when you're naturally confident, when you come to the social event and mixers, you don't need to stand in the middle of the room and say, "Oh, I went to Hawaii last month. Oh, I got myself a new car. Or this is my new girlfriend. Or this is my new wife." You don't need to try to brag about some things that are happening in your life. You do not assert dominance with bragging and bringing things up and, just trying to act that you better than everybody else. Arrogance is kind of like a desperate try to compensate just natural confidence. Once in a while, I run into people that have this beautiful natural confidence. They're just so relaxed and unbothered, whether, men, women, children. I just absolutely, these people always calm me down. And it just, when you truly work on yourself, you build that inner core, that inner, when you're satisfied with your life, you don't need to uh, make a video and say, "You know what, I'm really happy. Yes, I'm truly happy." You don't need to say this. People can see, this person is glowing, this woman is glowing, this person is, it just, there is some light about them. You don't need to know what's going on in their life to realize that um, it's just you enjoy their communication. And so there's a lot of things that are wrong with arrogance, but I think the best thing is to sometimes crack a joke, and the arrogant person does not expect it, and it's really funny to see them laugh because they were not planning on it. And it's just kind of, I feel that sometimes it can break they're just hiding behind the facade because they're too vulnerable. They're afraid if they would show who they are, they either won't be liked or they would be too vulnerable for somebody to um, kind of target them. So, but your observation is actually pretty make a lot of sense as well. So, it is definitely, arrogance is definitely overcompensation, and it's also a replacement for true confidence, for true normal relaxed confidence. And if I could give you a little bit of communication tip, how to feel more confident, when you're with people and you're not sure what's going on, how to not only appear more confident but feel more confident. One of the things that I've noticed, um, sometimes when we meet new people, we are very worried what impression we're going to give them. And if you just, and it's hard to give a good impression when you worry about this. So, one of the things that everyone can do is, instead of just freaking out inside of you what the other person think about you, just to make sure that you have good experience. Instead of, let's say you're on a date, you're sitting with a girl, and you having a good time, and you're thinking, I wonder what she's thinking right now. And she's thinking, oh, I wonder what he's thinking right now. And oh my God, he will think I don't look good in red. Or, it's just like, the thing is, those thoughts, they're often so inadequate because you never know what the other person really thinking about you. So instead of that, you can focus on having a good time. Just relax into person who you truly are, because it will come out anyway. And even if that's your first and last meeting, focus on what can make it more fun and how you can have a good time. So basically, being more in the moment and being relaxed, they either like you or they will not. But at least you will be able to say, "Oh my gosh, this was so fun. We had such a great experience. It was a great time." that is something, we all sometimes self-conscious, and we all sometimes um want to be liked, and we can be afraid of judgments, and we want to appear in our best light, but sometimes you don't have the best light, right? Sometimes you don't have any light. So instead of worrying about what people will find wrong with you, you might as well just have fun and make sure you are having fun, because you don't have control of what somebody will think about you, whether they like you, whether they can relate to you or not. Excuse me, guys. The only thing you have control of is whether you're having a good experience. And the thing is, you cannot be authentically present in a conversation if instead of listening to the other person, you are worried, and you are, worried about what they think about you the entire time. You're not even present. You are victim of an anxiety attack. Oh wow. What do you guys think? Let me read some of your messages. Mm-hmm. And this is really interesting, because people who put other people down, they're really not that successful, or I've noticed one thing, that anybody who is successful at something, who is better than you on something, will never put you down, because they've been there. If you are if you are in your first steps on something, they will encourage you. Let's say your friend is a famous or successful entrepreneur, and you just starting your steps. This truly successful entrepreneur not gonna be like, you buying that lame product. He's not gonna laugh at you, he's not gonna put you down, because he's done that. He bought the lame product, he already lost money before, but he knows it's a part of the journey. So the person that done that before is not gonna put you down or discourage you. Only people that had not done something will discourage you. Only people that, I'm gonna tell you, the crab effect. When you are new in your community, in your family, you're doing something new, or you're going further than your group of friends, colleagues, acquaintances. When you go a little bit further, or you go out of the box, that's what's normal for them, there is a crab effect. They will immediately try to put you down. It's like, who do you think you are? But it's because they've never done it. So, one interesting example about this would be when I make videos in English with other people that have a Russian audience. There would be at least half of the comments saying, "Oh my God." And the other person is also from Ukraine or Russia, and we're making video together. The audience of the person that have Russian or Ukrainian speakers, they always would say one thing. It's at least 30%. I would say even 40 or 50 sometimes. "Oh my God, this is a horrific accent. Why are you embarrassing yourself? You need to stop. You don't even speak English. This is horrible. This is most awful accent I've ever heard." And this is so interesting that these comments are only coming from people that are from my own country, and then probably do not speak as well because they are living there, and obviously they're not surrounded by English speakers. And I've noticed every time. And if you try to tell them, well, people in America appreciate our accent, they actually find it exotic and attractive. And they would say, "Oh, well, Americans are just politically correct. They're nice, and that's why they would not tell you that you sound awful." And I want to tell you this, thank God that I have confidence because I live here. I know what I can and cannot do. So it makes me laugh, but it doesn't hurt me. Now imagine somebody who just starting out, who's just doing, oh, I'm gonna open a channel. Somebody who's starting out and they have that, that big bucket with negative thoughts, boom on them. It's just simply crab effect. In our community, it's like, oh, like in Russian, Ukrainian communities, like, oh, you think you can speak English? You think you can be international? You think that you can be internationally recognized? Who do you think you are? People laugh at you. So it's kind of this bucket with crabs, and one crab is kind of going a new level, and the other crabs that did not have the courage to master things, that do not have the courage to maybe do it ugly, maybe do it imperfectly, but they have the courage to put their face on the camera, to convey a message, maybe to help somebody with something. I mean, 100% of people that ever wrote nasty comments about my accent, or people that I was making videos together with who have the same one, similar one, 100% of their comments come from the people who probably have even worse or even more, even stronger accent, and probably will never improve it because they live over there, and it's just a mess. But to be fair, I've noticed the same thing in America, in particular communities. When you stand out, when you do not believe the narrative, when you have your independent thoughts, your own community will judge you, uh, will try to um, get you by this road, because they don't want you to go further. They don't want you to overcome certain challenges. They want you to be uh, in this narrative, and they don't want you to go further. So this is just part of life, guys. This is just normal, and people who do not have courage will always attack you because you have it. I'm just saying. Well, Jerry, I don't know if I could thank you for the compliment. I don't know if I could change it. I don't, this is not something I ever think about. As long as, when I make a video for the Russian speaking audience, in English, this is where I just get, or somebody comes from Russian channels to my channels and say, oh, this girl, she makes videos in English. This is when, when I get slammed, and I was like, it's always shocking, it's always shocking. But I appreciate that because it gives me an insight in people's minds. Very often, people do certain things because, once again, they do not have the courage. But on the other hand, sometimes we imagine that somebody does not like us. When we talk about communication, when you are in a room full of people, and if you somehow can feel that the person close to you, or the person who came to talk to you, somehow they give you the signals that they like you, whether, doesn't matter their gender, their status, but if they have certain warmth, so they show you some affection of sorts, you kind of like them by default. You don't even realize, but they may become your favorite person because they show you that loyalty, that welcome. They maybe made a brief compliment or anything else that make you feel that maybe they look at you, with they listen to you with interest, or they made you they made a remark, but something tells you that they like you, you know, you're 90% more likely to feel the same towards them. It's really, you know, we are really mirroring each other. When somebody comes to you with an open heart, and somebody adores you, or somebody is interested in you genuinely, it's kind of hard to be distant. You know, it's kind of like the rose that opens up in a good climate. So that's why I think it's more important to be authentic and be you, over trying to do what's right, especially if it's not you at all. You know, I have this I don't know if I can call it a skill, but I have this sort of a I guess a skill. I can always see, not always, but I can often see when people having a conversation that is not real, you know, because you have to speak, or when people suppress themselves and they trying to be, you know, they trying to be decent, and that's the most boring thing ever. If you know me personally a little, or if you know, if you're watching this channel for a while, you know that's not what we do here. You have to be willing to, when you show up authentically, you can lose somebody. You can, it can happen, but it would happen anyway. So you might as well show up as you. You might as well show up as you. A lot of people trying to be a chameleon, especially when you try to create a connection with your friends, but especially with the woman you want. When you're trying to be a chameleon, and you know you learn her beliefs, and you pretend that these beliefs resonate with you. You you know she likes something, and you pretend you like that. You become a chameleon, and then you're with another friend and you pretend you do what they, so it's like there is never space for you. You always reflect somebody else, and you don't have your signature. People don't really know who you are because you always try to fit the box. And you know, it's okay to disagree with people, it's okay to have your own opinion, but when you show up as a chameleon, we also see that it's boring, and you don't give people chance to get to know you. Hi Ivy, welcome. Good to see you. Ivy is asking, would you ever host a social? Well, I had a few already. Honestly, that's a good question. It's a double-edged sword. Um, it's possible if there would be an appropriate event or something like that. That would be a lot of fun. Um, I did three meetings, and um, it was quite it was quite exciting, and it was quite fun. So it's possible, but not, I'll be honest with you, not anytime soon. So not in the close future. If I feel a lot of appreciation, a lot of encouragement, that is possible, because being closed up, you know, having all this restriction on communication definitely show us the joy of meeting people. So it's possible, Ivy. Gosh, my nose is itching. You know, guys, in Russian culture, what itching nose is? It means that you may be you may be drinking, which I'm not planning on doing. I don't need alcohol to feel good in life, so better stop itching. Well, yeah, if I ever have an social event, that would be a lot of fun, and I will definitely let you guys know. Mm-hmm. Being a bilingual speaker from an early age, I understand the criticism of accents, but I've learned not to pay attention to it, and I say what I have to say. The compliments are always welcome, though. Exactly, exactly. Compliments are always welcome. It's very true. To me, um, I think you need to know where you are. Then you're not gonna be. You can appreciate the compliment, but you won't be dependent on that, or you won't be crushed when somebody tells you, oh, this is horrible. Like, I literally laugh when or sometimes I get notifications for new comments, and there would be some people would come new on the channel, and they would start bombarding me with, how unattractive I am, and how awful my personality is, and of course how horrific this accent is. I literally laugh. It just like jumps out of me, because I know this is not true, and if it's true for them, they don't have to suffer and listen to it. They can go about their day, right? They don't have to suffer. It's a free world. Well, used to be, but oh my goodness. Nobody is taping the tablet to their face and say, today you need to watch this channel. So if they choose to suffer by that's okay. So say for you guys, when you have somebody maybe in your family or your friends, when they know that you you have a dream, maybe you have a woman of your dreams, um they may mock you and make fun of you because you don't want to, you want something more in your life, and whatever that is. People will try to mock you and put you down and say it's impossible, but you know they have some canceling noise canceling devices. Very helpful. I would even say underestimated. Underestimated. Yeah. And if somebody make fun of you if you speak the accent, they don't like the way you speak, you know, start talking to them in your native language and see how well they can take that one. I'm just saying. Oh, somebody says, wow, I can't believe people would say that. People say all kinds of things. Oh, thank you for the compliments, guys. That is so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I love the navy blue. I don't know, one of my favorite colors. Thank you. Thank you, guys. But I don't want this is not about my accent. I just want to tell you that when you dare to do something, you will always get criticism. But the person that is the same way, that can relate to you, and you show up authentically, you share your real thoughts, not what everybody expect to hear, but you share, you're not afraid. You may not connect with the majority of people, but they're going to be a person that would come to you and say, hey, you're amazing. I feel just like you. Thank you for saying it. I kind of feel encouraged to be more of myself now. By opening up your mental prison, you give, of being you, of communicating who you are, you helping other people to get out of their mental prison, of their judgment. You know how many people do not start something, do not say hello to the person they like, do not take an action, do not take a decision, because they have this chatter. They always think, will this person say that, blah, 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 blah. And my question always, will this person will be in the grave with you when it's the last day of your life? Will this neighbor, this person, this friend from high school, will their opinion matter when you're about to, as Frank Sinatra would say, face the final curtain? Would they be there? No. So you might as well do it your way, right? I know it's kind of philosophical, but that's how we are over here. You might as well do it your way. I almost want to put I almost want to put Frank Sinatra song, but I'll get copyrighted. So we're gonna wrap it up in a second. How many people even get a compliment? I would say that people still make compliments, definitely. And when people do that, make sure that you say a nice loud thank you, so they keep bring positivity into the world. When somebody opens the door for me or tell me, oh, you look beautiful today, I understand in this brainwashed society that some women can open a case against you for saying that, or call it sexual harassment or something. So I always say thank you. I always have a big smile and I say thank you. And or I show in some ways that, well, you just made my day. I appreciate that. Or just a big genuine smile. We have to encourage those people who have the courage to approach or to just make a compliment with no agenda attached. It takes a lot of courage, but if you want to get compliments, if you want to be recognized, you need to have the courage to make compliments. You have to make the courage to approach somebody. You know how sometimes you stand near the person and you really want to say hi, you're just interested, you just, there's something about them, but you have in your head, oh, then they're not gonna like me because I'm not, and I'm not the right color, and I'm not the right age, and I'm not the right blah, blah, blah. You have this mental chatter. By the time you finish your chatter, the person is gone, and you have missed your opportunity. You need to always think, what is the worst possible thing can happen if you introduce yourself, or you share your thought, or you say something random. You have chance. This is one of the most incredible skills, is to be able to crack a joke or make a comment or break the ice. You never know what's going to happen, and there's so many opportunities. And I have to say, Americans are better at this. I want to say that Americans are better at small talk, for sure, because American culture is pretty much small talk. It's part of the culture, and I've learned to be more spontaneous and feel fine to have a small talk with people I don't know. In Ukraine, it's happening, but it's not as popular. Small talk can lead to a bigger talk. So don't be shy, and it's a very good skill. I feel that a lot of in American culture, it's not, it's a pretty common skill. Small talk could be just an invitation. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be standing there and talking about the weather, or you're gonna be talking about the puppies or something like that. Small talk is an invitation sometimes. Hey, I see you. And it doesn't have to lead to anything, but if you give the person the chance to, from a small talk, to go different direction to introduce each other. You know, small talk may end up in marriage, you know, because you made somebody a compliment, they laughed, and then before you know it, you have their phone number, and then you have, you know, a lifetime of conversations. It's just like a business card, elevator speech, you know. Thank you for another super chat. I appreciate it. Don't make me get those bubbles on. Thank you. I appreciate yet another super chat. Thank you. Just for the record, Veronica, the Ukrainian English accent is quite exotic. Oh, I know that. Thank you for reminding Bill, but I know that. I've been here over a decade. I can write a book on that, but I hope that some Russian native Russian speakers watching this video, I know some do, and I want to encourage you as much as I can. Speak incorrectly, speak with harsh accent, speak with making a lot of mistakes, but speak, because you can't get better without practicing. So once again, I appreciate the reminder. I appreciate the reminder. And you know, it's not, I wouldn't say it's not my brand. I'm just this way, you know, so it's not like I could probably go to some classes to change it, but I don't think about that. I have some big ideas that this is not I definitely, you know, I like what did I want to say? You know, I'm gonna tell you something. I'll just put it this way. One of the very important men in my life told me once, do whatever you do. I can't say it. He said, do whatever you need to do, but please. I hope something is. I can't say it. Okay. As long as you don't sound like you're from Michigan, we are good. So he said, I'm good with everything you do as long as you don't sound like you're from Michigan. Oh my god, I'm getting red. It's just funny. Hey, Michigan is an exotic place. Y'all don't understand. But I forgot, unfortunately, exactly how he said it, but I could not understand what it is. But you know, we all have something unique about us. So guys, I know a lot of you just joined, but what he meant is he didn't come all the way to bring me here, and I'll be just like everybody else, you know. I have nothing against you know Michigan accent. I don't know how to make it. It doesn't matter. Listen, let's wrap this up, because a lot of you guys join later, and we just talked today about the importance of remember the dynamics, how things actually work naturally, and showing your initiative, stepping up your game, being able to share your thoughts, using technology for you, not against you. A lot of men get just, you know, diving in the world of texting. I want to tell you again and again, women do not connect with you. Women do not create connection with you via texting. Yes, it may be convenient. You may be texting 10 other women. You may be in a drive-through. But when you take focused, precise, amount of time to, you put the effort. Actually, if you Google it, there are so many videos uh named how to make a guy to call you. So women actually searching how to make a guy to call you. I guess men do not call anymore. Not my man. But a lot of men feels that it's very comfortable to hide between the texting. Texting can be very exhausting, and it's lacking that emotion, because it's not the same as when you are in the moment talking to each other. So you have to watch it in the beginning. I share more about that, how important it is to choose short phone call, sometimes long phone call. Every phone call needs to have a purpose. If you live in the same area, in a close, do not spend a lot of time on the phone, because you becoming a girlfriend. Women have 9,000 more words to say than you. So you don't want to become a girlfriend. If you live in the area, set up a meeting. Set up a date, a coffee date, a trip together, something like that. If you are in the area, do not hang on the phone, because she will see you as indecisive and feminine, and she will go out on a date with somebody else who can take a decision. She doesn't want to ask you, unless she's really bold. She probably won't tell you, just take a goddamn decision. What are we gonna do? She probably not gonna do that. But that's what she's thinking. So sometimes you need to put this thing down, switch off the sound, and use this thing how you would use that thing. My beautiful, I think it's 1950s. So how would we use that thing? We use it to call, say hello, and set up a date, or have real-time conversation, giving somebody full focus of attention, right? Texting, also, the problem with texting is that a lot of words and expressions can have double meaning, and a lot of conflicts are happening through texting. A lot of misunderstanding are happening through texting. Also, it's it's a way of least resistance. It's a way of the lowest effort. And women who know themselves, who know that they are they are in demand, they always pay attention at the effort that guy makes. You may be not your first preference by far, but when she looks at the kind of effort you make, she learns how to appreciate you. She may give special consideration to a guy who shows effort, to the guys that not keeping sending texts and messages and all kinds of things, instead of just get a one phone call and get it together, right? So, not gonna tell you everything we talked in the beginning. But I hope you got my point. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Um. Oh, that's interesting. A Russian YouTuber who speaks English had mentioned the difference about culture between US and Russia and why Russians don't smile like US folks do. She never understood why small talk exists. Yes, those are general cultural things. Um, in Slavic culture, in Russian, Ukrainian culture, it's not that people are unhappy or grumpy. It's just not part of our culture. When you see the Russian or Ukrainian person smile, it means that they really feel like smiling. That they feel it. So it does have a little bit of a, how shall I say this? It it has ups and downs, just like everything else. So when you see a new immigrant, or when you travel overseas and nobody smiles to you, it's just not part of a culture, but you get an authentic reaction. People are in their modes. They do not play politeness because they are in their world, but when they smile, they really mean it. It's when you come to United States, you feel like, oh, everybody loves you, everybody's so nice because people are smiling. But if you go to state place, okay, compare, just to prove my point, compare when you come to city hall, when you come to post office, when you come to any government establishment. Do people going out of their way to smile you and ask you about your day? Or they're more like, hello, how can I help you? And then when you go to a business, when you go to someone's shop or someone's business, how people treat you completely different. They're like, oh, hi, how are you today? Oh, that's a pretty lipstick, that's a pretty coat, oh, your hair looks nice, or oh, blah 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 blah, oh, where do you come from? Like, people who run the business, it looks like you just met your best friend, because it's a I don't look at it that it's so fake and so bad. I'm just used to it now. I smile too. I don't mind that so much, because I would rather. I don't know. I just like having fun. I would rather have a good day than a bad day. But I like giving. I genuinely enjoy smiling to people. I genuinely enjoy create a better, more pleasant atmosphere. So I don't mind it so much. Now, when I travel overseas and come back, um, go through TSA and officers and the people in the airport, I always have a question. What happened to an American smile? Because people who work in TSA and control and border control and homeland security, there is a lot less of a small talk and spontaneity over there. So it is a learned skill, but I believe if you fakely, let's say it's fake, if you fakely smile every day, at some point, it's gonna come to you natural. I do prefer people who are open-hearted. I prefer people who are genuinely smiling, have genuine interest in you, but I also think that it can become a lot more genuine when you do this every single day. When you do something every single day, it can become genuine. And I always appreciate, how when you talk with somebody for business or you are a customer somewhere, you talk to people, and sometimes, they add the personal touch. I like when people add personal touch. So they follow the protocol of politeness, but they add the personal touch. I just think it makes life better for everybody. So I'm not here to judge. I will tell you this. I grew up when smiling was not a really part of the culture, and I like it better now. And when I was in the college, in college, I always was bubbly and like to laugh and just kind of raise the vibration of the room and crack a joke, sometimes inappropriate, but not inappropriate, but not always timely, you know. But I just like to kind of change the mood when everybody is like, oh, you know. I just like to bring something and change the mood and focus on something else. And there was this rumor when I was in college. There was this rumor that I'm drinking. People were saying, you know, she's probably drinking or she's on drugs, and so people would not understand that somebody can just be bubbly and like to have fun. And you know, there are definitely bubbly personalities in every culture, but people would think that, oh, you know, she's on something, you know. No, I was just young and happy. That's what, you know, what I was on. So talking about American Smile, what happened to American Smile lately in this year 2020 and 2021? Have you guys noticed how the physical changed the emotional when people are like this with a face diaper on? How much of American Smile and small talk you have been getting lately? So it is hard to be very upbeat and very, you know, bubbly when you have this going on. And you know, my observation during this year 2020, have you noticed that if you are standing in line somewhere and you're the one person in a good mood or a big person, you immediately stand out. I feel like with this whole situation going on, people were a lot more stressed, scared, and suppressed. And so if you stand in line and you have a good attitude, you immediately you stick out like a sore thumb. Yeah, Ivy says yes. Yeah, you stick out. You know, I was not about, yes, it I did not enjoy certain restrictions this year. I tried to break it, and I would agree it has been challenging, but I don't know about you guys, but I told myself I'm not changing my routine. I'm not changing the way I dress. I'm not giving up on my lipstick. I'm not giving up on smiling and making jokes. I'm not giving up on this to be just fearful and scared and like, well, you know, yeah, it was a conscious decision because it's actually it's quite easy to give up when there is this environment that the world is over, you can't dress up no more, everything is closed. So for me, really, a lot of you've seen a lot of the videos during this year, so you know that nobody giving up on here. And I think we all can create the world we want to live in. I believe in it. You can create a better world. You don't have to follow things, and you don't have to be upset and depressed because it will make somebody happy, you know. I feel that some certain people, you know, want everybody to be fearful and depressed and just like, but We don't have to follow them. So, I will not repeat these things I will share with you. Let me put some bubbles. Thank you guys for supporting the video. It's a little difficult to sometimes come back to make a live video after you you know, have been away for a minute. I have been away, guys, for a reason. I may or may not share it. We'll see. It's a something personal that I'm not sure whether or not or when I will share, but um, time is definitely precious, and I just felt today that it's been so long, and I'm it feels like it's been months, and I decided to connect with you because that is always so beneficial. It's my privilege to be able to connect with you guys because um it wouldn't be fun to just talk to myself, you know. Like, I do it every day, but it's so incredible. I feel so honored and so blessed to be able to connect with people and, you know, have these chats and share thoughts. So, and I didn't feel like I want to go to bed. That is a factor as well. Um, Thank you, Jim. But I've always had optimistic attitude. But it's possible that it became better here in United States. I think that, you know, when you've seen the other side, um, you have an idea. People always say how everything is bad in the United States, how you don't have this and that, and how somebody is oppressed, and how people who say that have never been on the other side, have never seen how the world is, you know, never been out of the bubble. We have bubbles right now, but some people have never been out of this bubble. And when you've seen what could be, when you went through a lot of rough, unpredictable things, I feel that you appreciate, you look at things differently. I had today a conversation with somebody and I said, you know, um, I I have this milestone I need to achieve, and then I will be free. And the person I was talking to told me, well, do you think you still can be free with all this going on right now in, you know, in United States? I said yes, because I don't oppress myself with my own thoughts. Yes, I understand crazy things are happening in the politics right now, in all this. It's absolutely absurd, but I have power of my own mind, and the reality is a lot of people oppressing themselves with other people's ideas over their own self. I'm talking to you right now. Is anybody standing here and, you know, holding me by the neck? Is somebody here going to do that? Most people oppress themselves with their own thoughts or beliefs, or with thoughts and beliefs of other people. People survive through these things we can't even imagine with our minds. So why would I do that? Think about that. You don't have to hurt yourself. You don't have to repeat things that you don't want in your life. And on the other hand, if you are heavily involved, if you're a guy, I have a lot of men who follow my channel. If you if you're concerned of what's going on, if you are heavily into politics and things like this, then create a circle of friends, create an environment where you connect with this man and you're on the same page and you can discuss these things. You don't have to allow somebody else's idea change your life. You can create, in this house, I can create my rules. I can dress as a belly dancer and imagine I'm in the Middle East, I can that would be a good idea, actually. You can create anything, you can create anything, any rules in your household. Some people complain that, oh, in this culture, children are not reading anymore. Well, nobody is on your way to have reading evenings, right? Nobody is on your way to have to read books together, create your book club. Like, you can create so much. Yes, I agree with you. It's grotesque what's going on right now. I have a tiny sneak peek at the world and I'm like, whoa! So you can create your own rules in your own house, and you can do things with your own freedom. And I wanted to thank you for super chat. Oh, thank you, Rajiv Dia. I'm not sure I'm reading it right, but thank you. You're so sweet. I appreciate that. Great talk. You are evolving as romance goddess. Relationship guru. Well, I appreciate the encouragement. Thank you, Rajiv. And I'm sorry if I'm not reading your name correctly, but I hope I am. Thank you so much. Honestly, coming on live tonight was really difficult after I had to, check out and take care of something else. And that is another point that I would like to make, is that when you jump from, sometimes you have to jump off the cliff, communication, you can't evolve. Thank you so much for the compliment about evolving. You can't become better communicator, better, you can't develop better connections with people, better relationship, if you better communication skills, if you're not practicing it. A lot of men who reach out to me, they kind of get stuck because, maybe they were hurt before, or they're not sure what to do, so they don't do anything. And that's why I'm telling you once again, the guys who feel that they have nothing to lose always get the best ladies, because they feel that, oh well, I'm just gonna do my best and whatever happens will happen. But they build a confidence through multiple practice and rejection. So the only one way to become a little bit more confident is to work out the confidence muscle. And I truly think that the world right now desperately needs people who can be authentic and speak with open heart and connect genuinely. You can find fake everything right now. Fake is not a problem. Fake is everywhere. But you will create a lot better you will have much better interaction, much more meaningful interactions with people when you have the courage to, instead of trying to cover yourself with different layers, when you have the courage to be you, and to be uncomfortable, and you have a courage to look insecure, and you have a courage to maybe look silly, and you have a courage to ask something when you know almost 100% is going to be a no. But when you have the courage, you're going to get rewards. So so my dear friends, if you want to connect with ladies, take your effort a little bit further. Evolve from texting. Never text about the things that are sensitive, that are delicate. Call, use the visual connection if you're not living close, but most of all, make sure you have two types of communication. One is very mobile and quick to set up the meetings and personal plans, and another one when you truly connect, when you can take your guards down and you can share things, and you can really share your thoughts, you can open up your world to somebody. Feminine women we like to be pursued. We are always hiding. Right? Ladies in the chat, who is agreeing with me? As feminine women, we always hiding. Hello? Oh no, I'm not here. That is autoresponder. As we are always hiding. Yes? Oh. Oh well, I guess it's decided. Alright. Oh. Oh, I guess I will have to now. That's how you set up a date. You just say it's decided. That's what we are doing. We don't want to wonder about you and your thoughts. When you have clarity, when you made a plan, you have a lot better chance to show your intentions. One thing you never want to do around Slavic people especially is to beat around the bush. That is most repelling thing ever. When you call, you have a reason for a call, and you stop beating around the bush. Just make it clear and precise, and you will be successful with the person that is meant to be for you. Step up your game, baby. Thank you guys so much for this unexpected. Thank you for joining the unexpected late night chat. It was a good step out of comfort zone for me. Not so much comfort zone, but once you take a break from something, it feels so good. You feel so good in your own space. So I'm very glad that you guys were able to join. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Oh, thank you. Thank you guys for the kind words. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and recharge. I probably once again see you soon. I hope so. Well, I will definitely see you soon. Oh wow. I see some interesting questions, but it will be another 2 hours if I respond them. I appreciate the effort though. I like that. It's a feminine quality of hiding, waiting, patience. Yes, and also playing and being flirtatious and being somewhat, not so precise. We expect precision, goals, ideas, and guidance from you. Very true. So, thank you for the kind words. Somebody say thank you for your wisdom. Thank you. for being here. So, my dear friends, I see some very good comments here in the section, in the comment section. Um, there is a difference to being blind to reality and ignore reality, being aware of reality, yet ignore it for a greater purpose. There is time and place for everything. There is a time to hold a hot debate, and there is a time to look at your bank account and ask yourself, what the hell am I doing? Nobody gonna come and fix it. I gotta do something about this, right? Or, looking at yourself in the mirror and realizing that, it's enough of donuts or whatever else people eat in terms of sweet stuff. Or, there is time and place for everything. Um, there is only so much you can blame on the outer circumstance. I mean, I love blaming, but so far it didn't give me. That's not what bring the satisfaction in my life. So, well, all right. Yes, I. What is your name? SF3. So usually I do not do live shows that late. So usually it's more like 8, 9, 10 o'clock. I will try to do a community post, but guys, I want to tell you my discovery. I cannot have a planned live show. As soon as I have a planned live show, I feel like somebody holds me by the neck. So it's gonna be mostly unplanned, but I can share one thing that I could do. If I know ahead, I could make a post in the community section. But I absolutely cannot do planned live show because I get anxiety, and always I have a guest or I have some immediate plans or I'm not feeling well. It's like no. So this must be a stream of conscious, and it doesn't have a schedule. But usually it's more normal. It's usually never this late. Oh my god, it's 2 a.m. Alright guys. Beauty sleep you all. I just needed to come and connect with you. And I'm glad I was able to. So Ibuki. Okay, Ibuki, I'll call you that. Okay. Yes, Jim. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bill, for the. Yeah, guys, if you want to connect with me, this is my email, my Patreon, my Cash App, and what else? My first shop. Yes. So, thank you for that. We're going to talk about that, Jim. I have something to share about this topic, and I think Jim would understand, and it would be, I think it would be relevant for you. I'm gonna speak on that about parents and risks with parents and things like that. So, with that being said, guys, have a good night. I had no idea it was so late, but I hope you had enjoyed it. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone, and I will see you soon.